Palmer. And to you, if it would happen to be yours, happy birthday, happy anniversary to you. Here's hoping that you'll have a very, very special day. Well, a special guest with us in our studios this morning, Mr. Joe Cook. Joe, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jerry.
You'll be celebrating one before too long, won't you?
Well, yes, a week from tomorrow. That doesn't seem possible.
They come by quicker the older you get, I guess.
Well, I'm only going to be 40 plus 20.
40 plus 20, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
If I'm not mistaken,
right.
40 plus 20 this year.
Start a new decade.
Who would have thought?
Yeah,
Here
that's why I said 40, because it doesn't seem feasible that I'll be at the 60 decade when it should only be the 40 decade.
Yeah,
but that'd make you just a little guy then,
that's
a little
right.
tot.
Just a pup. That's
Yeah.
right. I'm just a kid.
Yeah.
Joe, of course, lives in Nottoway. Have you lived in Nottoway all your life, Phil?
No, I was raised in Corning.
All right.
My folks moved to Corning in '47, so I was 2 years old when I moved to Corning.
I see.
And then after I graduated from high school, I was away for about 10 years and then came back to the area.
Came back to the Nottoway area and has been in a construction business for 30 of the 60 years you've been around.
June 1st, it was 30 years, and that seems like it should only be 10.
Goes quickly, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It does.
Tell our listeners just kind of a big picture of what you do, and then we'll come back and talk about
Well, it would probably be easier to tell them what I don't do.
It probably would be. I don't know what that would be.
Well, I have been stumped a time or two, but that's more with building codes than with the fertile mind, let's put it that way. Do a lot of roofs, decks, remodeling. Have built a couple of new houses, but didn't enjoy them because anyone can build a new house. I enjoy a challenge in thinking out of the box.
Docks, fishing docks,
fishing
cabins.
log cabins.
You can do it all. Transmitter buildings.
Yeah, you name it. You name it. It's not beyond my looking at anyway.
Storage buildings.
Yeah, building a building within a building, and then tearing the building out from inside of it. We did that.
Had him build a building over a building, and then tore the building inside out of the building.
Yeah. And we've done a lot of work together over the years.
Keep trying to come up with some new challenges for you.
Well, maybe 10 years from now, you might be able to succeed.
I don't mean to delve into your personal life, but you're looking good. You've been through a kind of a rough bout here, though.
Well, it's been a trying time. Good Friday, I was diagnosed with lung cancer, and at that time they also diagnosed it as liver cancer, and thankfully through the rest of the tests, the MRI proved out that the liver was not involved, and that put it right back to the lung. 6 weeks ago today, they did surgery and removed the lower left lobe of my lung, one rib, and sent me home cancer-free. So it's the building up back proud. I'm building up physically again now to where it's not the work hasn't been going on, but I haven't really been able to be actively involved. So
6 weeks ago today we did the surgery.
6 weeks ago today we did the surgery.
Well, you've made a great recovery, and Joe is back up and about and doing some things. Of course, still has some limitations, I'm sure.
As far as the lifting limitations, they go off today, but the physical limitations, it's you've got to overcome the soreness and everything else. A person doesn't realize how much strength you lose when you go through something like that. So it's getting the strength back.
Go to taking out ribs and those things, that can be pretty painful for
Well, it hasn't been a fun trip. But there's only 10% of us that walk out of the hospital cancer-free, and why I was one of them, I don't know. But I'm very thankful that I happen to be one of them.
Now, ongoing treatment, or what's the status?
I have had one chemo, possibly looking at 3 more. I meet with the oncologist this afternoon, but I'm cancer-free. If it's just to guarantee me a truthful long life, and then I'm going to pass on the guarantee, because I still plan on being around 25 to 30 years to agitate the alligators.
That's good.
And if I'm going to be 60 next week, I'm going to die an old man.
Well, I'm grateful that you're doing as well as you are. I know you've had lots of cards and letters and prayers on your behalf, and a lot of people do care about you and have been concerned about you.
That's what I've said to everyone. Only in small-town America can they take a common man and make him feel like the richest man on earth with all the sharing, caring, and loving from family and friends around. And that's where I've been at. It's just I'm just in awe of the outpouring of good wishes, and everyone before said, what can we do for you? And I said, stay strong for me so that I can pull on your strength later. And thank goodness they did keep strong for me.
Well, I'm glad that you're doing as well as you are, and certainly you're known by and appreciated and loved by a lot of people, and I'm glad that they took the time and made the time to show you that during a tough time.
Well, it's really been a struggle for me to keep my emotions in check because of it.
Let's go back to 30 years of business and what you'd most like for the people to know about your ongoing business, other than the fact that you are alive and well and intend to be for a long time.
I strive to be dependable, trustworthy. Usually if I say I'm going to do something, you can put it in the bank. I like to do business with a handshake rather than have people wonder. I always tell people I precede myself because, I've worked for, Lord, I'd hate to think how many hundreds and hundreds of people, and it would be nice if we could satisfy 100% of the people 100% of the time, but we know it's not the case. But I am known quite extensively. And
telephone number if people wanted to get in touch with you, Mr. Cook, would be?
Well, Mr. Cook, it would be... It's area code 712-785-3374. Normally I'm home after 6 o'clock in the evening. Otherwise, with my wife working nights, the answering machine takes all my calls during the day. But I do return the calls. And you can't... I try to emphasize people don't call me one day and expect me the next. It's very seldom that does happen.
Yeah, let him know.
In a dire emergency, yes, I can negate and get a Band-Aid on something. But
what did you start out doing? How did kind of tell us how your business has progressed over the last 30 years?
Basically, it started out right here in Red Oak. I went to work for Oak Tree Construction back in the late 60s, early 70s. I needed a job. So I started with Oakview back when they were quite small. And the second year I was with them, they sent me down to Clarinda. That's when the telephone office was built down there. And I was the lead man under the superintendent at that time was Cecil Akers. And Cecil was one of the best carpenters, finished carpenters around. He put me in his back pocket and